Welcome to this week's episode of Learning Sparks. My name is Richard Hayzler and I am the proud principal of Pequannock Valley Middle School, a grade 6 through 8 school in Pompton Plains, New Jersey as part of the Pequannock Township School District. Here on Learning Sparks, we like to talk about instructional strategies that enhance student learning in your classrooms. And today's focus is on inquiry-based learning. When you talk about inquiry-based learning and you think of the word inquiry, you automatically go to questions. And I know I've done previous Learning Sparks episodes on questioning techniques, and we've talked about the 5E model of instruction. Today I'd like to focus on inquiry-based learning as a whole. And I think it's important that you look at it from a teaching perspective and from a student perspective. When you look at it from a student perspective, you're looking at students being focused on investigating a question or a problem. And they have to provide evidence based on reasoning, based on research, based on problem solving, to reach some sort of a conclusion and then defend it to their teacher or to their peers. So when a student walks into the classroom, they see a question, they see a model, they see a demonstration, and they have to make a determination of where do I go from here? What do I want to learn? From a teacher's perspective, when you look at inquiry-based learning, you have to look at it from beyond a curiosity perspective. We want the students to be more than curious. We want them now to go and investigate using critical thinking and problem-solving skills to develop a deeper understanding of their learning. And so we want the students asking questions. We want them supporting their evidence through investigations to draw those conclusions and present relevant findings to their class, not just based on opinion, but based on facts and based on the content that they've learned and drawing those connections. When you talk about inquiry-based learning, you have to look at it from a very cyclical approach. And it's important that you start with the questions. So when students are given a question, I think it's important for them to ask, what do I already know about this content? Where can I go to find out information? What do I already know? And what do I need to know? And as they go and develop the questions that they have based on the content, now it's finding resources. What resources should I use? Where do I go to find these resources? Are these resources valid so that when I go to defend my claim or to defend my conclusion, the evidence that I find is real? So that once they have all their evidence, now it's important that they interpret that information. What does this information mean? Is it connected to my previous learning, or can I extend it beyond what I already know to draw my conclusions? Can I develop data from what I have here and provide data as a means to defend my conclusions? And then the last piece of the inquiry-based learning cycle for the student is now to draw conclusions and to have that relevant presentation. With all the information that I have, can I make a presentation that will connect the learning and really draw those real conclusions? Because when you look at the benefits of inquiry-based learning from a student perspective, there are many. Okay? There's a reinforcement of curriculum content. It's not just the delivery of a lecture format. You're getting students being curious and really digging deeper into what the curriculum can be. I think it gets the brain going. When a student has an understanding and a curiosity about what there could be based on a question that's posed, gets that brain flowing. And they're just not sitting in the classroom, being a bystander. They are involved in the lesson. And when their brain triggers the thinking piece, it really gets them motivated and inspired to want to learn. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it does provide a deeper understanding into the content. They're not just going on the surface, they're looking at evidence and they're looking at research to really dig deeper into what they're learning. I think it makes learning relevant. When you can bring in real-world experiences through the questions that you're asking, I think that's a big piece to inquiry-based learning that often gets missed, is that you can really make learning relevant regardless of the subject. I think very often you think of inquiry-based learning as only happening in science. But why can't it happen in social studies? Why can't it happen in math or in a world language or in a cycle or elective class? Inquiry-based learning can happen anywhere when you ask the right questions. Because what it does is it builds initiative. Students, when they're curious and they're excited about learning, they're going to want to be there. And we want to create classrooms where students can't wait to get to, where they're thinking about waking up that morning and getting to your classroom. That's what you're looking to do. So what is that question that you're going to ask to drive that learning? And then the last piece is really focusing, and it offers an opportunity for differentiated instruction. When you're asking questions, students can capitalize on their strengths You can target on areas of need that you have to work on with students in the classroom. You can ask different questions of different people within the classroom, and you can have multiple presentations going on. Because when you look at inquiry-based learning, you can handle it from a variety of different perspectives. But what it comes down to is the findings that the students have. And so the more questions you ask, the more opportunities that there are for the students to share their learning. Inquiry-based learning is a great way to enhance student success in your classroom, spark curiosity, and more importantly, spark learning. So give it a shot, take a risk, and ask the right questions, because it's really important when you see the students get focused on something that they want to learn about. That's where true learning really happens. So give it a try. Look forward to hearing from you about how successful it can be in your classroom. Please follow me on Twitter at Rich Hayzler. I'm always sharing resources out there and looking to connect with people to continue to learn and grow. And as I say in every episode, always do what's best for kids. Have a great day.